Guess who lost track of the time? Yeah, that was me. It's supposed to be better if I could actually see, huh? Oh my goodness. Good morning. Sorry about that. I know. I got caught up in something else. All right. Bella wants to come visit. Let's see what we got here. All right. Come on, Bella. You know what? Maybe people are waiting for my intro. Let's just go ahead and play that. Good morning. So, not only was I late, but I think I might be having some trouble with my internet. Barb, you're out there. Can you tell me, did the whole intro thing play okay? Can you hear me okay? Are you seeing me or am I stuttering? Well, I stutter anymore anyways. Good morning, Woody. Good morning. Bella says good morning. It's a bit chilly here. So, wearing my handy dandy hoodie. So, okay. What are we going to do today? Oh, that's right. We're going to talk about data storage. This topic, intro is fine and you hear me. Margie, thank you. Both of you, thank you so much. It just, it was just not right on my side. So we're going to talk about data storage. And this came up because, well, in the last month, um, and when I say it was two, and that doesn't seem like a lot, but in the number of files that I generate on a regular basis, you're going to see that it is a lot. In fact, let me see if I can bring up a new folder. Drop this down here. Okay, so two of my clients reached out to me recently and said, I've lost all my files. I've lost all my files. Can you send me all the files you have? And people, I do keep record. I do keep a copy of your files, of the files that I create. And I do this just for this reason. Here, let me just give you an idea. These are my client folders. All right. Some of them are inactive at this point, and I call anything that I haven't worked in for a year inactive. But for the most part, in a year, I will do at least one design file for every person in this list. That's a lot of files. That is a lot of files. And because I do keep them, That's a lot of data to store. And I try very hard not to lose any of your files, though it has happened and it will probably happen again. But here are some of the safeguards that I take in storing files so that in the event you need it, I have a copy of your file. Not to mention, in the event that I need it again, I have a copy of that file. So, what do I do to store all these files and keep it organized, right? The one of the clients that lost all of her files, she kept them stored in her email. I send files out by email. They're attached to the email. And I'm working on having data storage on my website so that you can just go in and download whatever files you need. But right now, because that isn't an option that I have, I store them on my computer and I keep them yeah, I know, Barb. I was thinking the same thing. Barb says, "Eeks, email storage?" Yeah, she lost all of her emails, which means she lost all of her files. There are others that store everything on flash drives. And then they take that flash drive to their machine and they want to upload to the machine from the flash drive. And that can work, but first you need to know where all of those files are or which flash drive carries which file, which means a tagging system, which may or may not be accurate, which means then you need to go in and look it up on your computer, and you plug it into your computer and you open it and you see, and then you find it, and then you take it to your machine, and you unplug it from your computer, take it over to your machine, and plug it into your machine, and then you have to find it on your machine. That can damage your flash drive. And that's what happened with the other client. Marge is exactly right. Microsoft 365 Cloud and Google Cloud. And I got more. So that particular client lost, if she had, I don't know, it was an 8 gig flash drive, maybe more, 16 gigs. Now be careful because some machines won't even read the larger flash drives. But and she lost them all. She lost everything on that flash drive because the flash drive stopped working. Do you know that a hard drive and a flash drive only has about a 3-year life? So if you have files from like 20 years ago, was there machine embroidery 20 years ago in the home market? I want to say yes. So anyways, if you've got 20-year-old files and they've been stored on this single flash drive, you might want to make a copy of them and store it someplace else. So what do I do to first keep my files organized and second to keep them safe? Well, here we're going back to the screen. Here is my my primary computer. This right here is OneDrive. That's the name of the software. It's OneDrive. It's Microsoft's cloud service. This is Dropbox. Each one of these is a flash drive. In this case, this is a micro SD. Let's see. My PC is obviously the C drive, which is not listed here. Let me go up one. Click, click, I say. And there it is. Okay, so these are all the drives that I maintain on my computer. Because I don't feel it's necessary to keep everything on the computer's hard drive, I keep strictly software and system files on my computer hard drive, the C drive. Everything else gets saved to a flash drive, or in this case, a micro SD. With the exception of the D drive, these are all 1 terabyte drives. 1 terabyte. That's is it 100 gigabytes equals a terabyte, or is it 1,000 gigabytes? Well, anyways, those are my largest storage medias. This one way over here, this F drive, that is my external backup. That one is a 4 terabyte drive. Okay. I've renamed these as to what they are. For example, this D drive, which is the smallest one in my system, that one holds my QuickBook backup. Every 3 or 4 times I go to close my QuickBooks, it asks me if I want to back it up. And I do. I back it up to that D drive. And that's all that's on that particular drive. And again, keeping in mind that a flash drive only has about a 3-year life, I will be moving these files over in the next year. Oh, Barb's got a comment. Let me get my mouse up in here. God. That is not what I want. Sorry, my mouse is not playing nice today. Barb, she has multiple places of backup. They're on her home server, which backups off her sites to her Sun server, backs up to an external plus a drive, OneDrive, and Google Drive. Yep, Barb, that's exactly where we're going. Let me go back to there. All right. She also keeps another copy in a fire safe. You are such a smart cookie. Okay, so I have marked each of these as to what is stored on it. The micro SD card, those are my business files. That's why it says McKee doing business as. This is my daily work. I shuffle files, my client files, to this daily work drive. And I keep my client files on this daily work drive, as well as the backups. Video and music. Our live stream today. Barb's exactly right. She was head of IT for many years, so there's no excuses for backing up. There are some people who say, oh, I don't have time, or it takes up my system resources. It's really important. You really should back up. You have insurance for your car. You should have insurance for your files. And of course, this one here, this little bitty one right here that doesn't have anything on it right now. Keep in mind, I'm still doing some sort work here because this is a new drive. This one is new to my system. This is going to contain my personal files. Okay, so we have all of this. Now, and then we have our external backup. That's going to back up my system, but it doesn't necessarily back up my little flash drives. In fact, it took me a long time to find a backup software that does. But before we do that, let's talk about my cloud-based backup. I use a service called Backblaze. It allows Barb's right. You can set backups to do incremental, which means it will grab any changes as they happen and then do a backup one full backup a week. My Backblaze, again, is a cloud storage service. And yes, this is a paid service, but it does incremental backups, which means that every time I make a change on my computer, it saves it to Backblaze. Downside of Backblaze, it does not pull any files from my flash drive files. Remember, all of these are flash drive files. Now, it'll pull up from the external backup drive and the computer hard drive, but it will not pull from any of these flash drives. And as you might recall, that's where I keep a lot of my work and personal files. So are they at risk? Well, they're at risk if I depended solely on Backblaze, but I don't. I have, and I don't know if you can see it here. I also have Microsoft's iDrive, not iDrive, I'm sorry, OneDrive, and Dropbox. In those, I have the professional service for Dropbox because those files that's where I like to do my share transfer if necessary. In Dropbox, I have synced all of these flash drives to also save in Dropbox. In my, where'd it go? I am stalling. In my Microsoft Drive, those are files that they're to be transferred. For example, when I take pictures of my stitch outs, I use my camera and then I upload it from my camera by using the share function and then selecting OneDrive. Uploads to OneDrive, and then I can move it wherever I want, do my edits or whatever. Okay, so OneDrive, it's just a convenience folder. Dropbox holds a copy of all of my little flash drives, along with any other folders that I deem necessary to put in that drive. That's another cloud storage. So I have an external hard drive. I have a paid service, Backblaze, And then I have, which is a cloud storage system. And then I have OneDrive and Dropbox. Dropbox is a backup system. Now, so now I have, well, nope, I only have um, 2 copies of my working files, Dropbox and on the flash drives. I didn't think that was enough. It's scary. You know, if I lost one of those 2 drives at any time, I would be totally dependent on that second drive. If I lost one, I'd have to have that other one would have to be absolutely perfect. And what if it isn't? Okay. This next one is a free backup software that, yes, they have a paid service, but you can set this up to do your backups without paying. And I have one system backup. Remember, I also have that for Backblaze. Backblaze is also a system backup to the cloud. This one saves to that external hard drive. So I have a cloud system backup and I have a hard drive system backup. And these little bits here, this particular backup software has a sync which will actually do incremental backups of all of my flash drives. And I have them set to actually do a full copy every day at a specific time. So now all of my little flash drives are saved to my external hard drive, plus 2 cloud locations. No, sorry, external hard drive. The flash drives are saved to the external hard drive, 1 cloud location, and on the actual flash drive. My system files are saved to 2 clouds and the hard drive. I know, it seems like a lot, but I feel safe that way. I feel that I can, if one goes down, I have 1 or 2 more. If 2 go down, I still have that third one. I feel confident that in the event that something like that should happen, I can recover. If you're saving, if you are saving your files strictly on external flash drives or in your email, you are putting all of your work at serious risk. Let's go back to that client that was keeping them all in her email. Some of those files, she is a long-term client. Some of those files are more than 4 years old. Yes, Barb, Backblaze is very reasonably priced. And it's also one of the highest rated. We'll get into that in just a moment. Going back to her files that were over 5 years old, I no longer have software. I no longer use the software those files were created in. In fact, that software is no longer supported. It was such an older, it's an older software that it's no longer supported on the newer systems. I can't open it. I can't get in there and make any kind of edits. I have to admit, I'm kind of disappointed with that because it had some features in it that I really liked that are not found anyplace else. But unfortunately, I can't do anything for her with regarding those files, except if she needs it, we have to create it again from scratch. Yeah. Okay. Ah, um, so I want to encourage you to do your backups. Think about how you're going to back everything up, where you're going to back everything up. I did a lot of research in picking my backup locations. For example, my F drive is a Western Digital external hard drive. The Passport, I like the Passport um, because again, it's small and it's compact, and it is a disk hard drive, which means it has a longer life. The S, and I might get this wrong, is it SSD, the solid state drives? Um, they don't necessarily have the same longevity. If you keep this in a good place, sorry, you keep this in a good place, keep the dust off of it, it can last you the full 3 to 5 years. Um, all of the reviews point to this drive. My flash drives, I like to use Pony, Pony. Again, I've been using them for years. They don't come with any kind of uh, built-in software that takes up space. They stay functional. Um, but again, I did a lot of research. That's what I want to encourage you to do. Do your research. Look for reviews. Just ask the blanket question, what is the best backup software or hard drive backup software? And then read those reviews. Find what's going to work for you. This is what works for me. Find what works for you. We have a comment here related to file security, but a separate subject. You have a moment to say how you prevent viruses hacks when a client uploads files to you to work on. Just standard antivirus software or something else? All right. Um, yeah, we have a few minutes. Let's do that. Let me open it out. I have been using this particular service. Oh my. Been married for almost 20 years. Been using the service since before that, even. Let me just open it. It's from ILO. Oh, fudge. What did I do with it? Yeah, I know. I've got my software. There we go. I've got my backups all in order. Now I lost you guys. Where'd you go? Oh, come along, little doggy. Hope you're still there. I must have closed my windows. Sorry. Oh, there's two of you. There we are. Is that better? because of a echo. I know. Can you hear me now? Okay. Better? Yay! Okay, so where were we? Yes. Um, Barb uses we a WebRoot commercial antivirus on her computer and laptops and phone. It checks everything. Plus, I have a WatchGuard firewall. Her son set up a sniffer software in the servers as the server software is Linux. I myself, now that we're back here, I use System Mechanics, and I have been using them, like I said, for well over 20 years. It has not only antivirus, but it also has cleanup functions. Now I know your Windows software, you can go in there and do a scan and clean up old files and uh, empty the cookie cache and all of that. But I'm not all that techy, so I use System Mechanics. And again, I've been using them for a long time. Um, they've caught a couple of really serious viruses. I've been really lucky that I haven't had any serious issues since. It scans all of my emails. Um, so any files coming in, it will tell me if it's safe or if it's not. Um, it's what I use. But again, that's what I use. Do your research. Do your research and find what works for you. All right. So next week, next week, um, I want to talk to you about 3D foam. I've seen some things recently that I think we should address, like digitizing for 3D foam and what your expectations should be with 3D foam. Um, so I think that's what we'll talk about next week. Unless you have something else that you need. If you do, just drop me an email. You can reach me through the contact at quicktostitch.com or email me quicktostitch@gmail.com. I'm here. Just give me a holler. Facebook user says, thank you, Barb. Barb, you've been very helpful. I should have had you guest on this and just run with it. Uh, nothing, nothing beats real world experience, and Barb has got that. Okay, so everybody, have a great weekend. We'll see you next week. And where'd it go? Do, do, do. Wasn't that fun? Do you have more questions? Do you want to learn something new? Join me at quicktostitch.com for coffee and conversation, and we'll talk about it. Embroidery machines, designs, and business. Hope to see you soon. Bye now.